This Oli team because I've got a feeling they're going to lock her down. And third thing, control the tempo. Don't play Oli's game. When you're playing with a bunch of speed skaters and they want to take off, don't take off with them. These are the last 2 years USAR's championship team. So make sure you're controlling the tempo, play your game, don't allow Oli to play theirs.
Awesome.
Back to you two, Spider and Just Jay.
Thanks a lot, Filter. That's great insight. We're checking in with the Spider. She's going to give us the rosters for the Oli Rollers.
Oli Rollers, number 13, Chica Chula. 2, Sassy. 28, Blonde and Bitchin'. 2X, Scared to Death. 31, Reanimator. 40, One Smart Cookie. 50-50, Blasian Invasion. 51-50, Mad Medic. 52, Lindsay Loblo. 620, Ragin' Reg. 69, Killa Kelly. 7, Hockey Honey. 88, Geek Gwen. 9, Tannibal Lecter.
And for the Philly Roller Girls, Liberty Bells All-Stars, we have 06, Castro, 16, Brazilian Nut, 18, Vanessa B. Diva Sights, 24-7, Devoid of Mercy, 357, Trixie Trauma, 401, Tarantula, 44, Fully Automatic, 527, Heavy Flow, 609, Hot Rod Hussy, 7, Clam Jammer, 80, Pop Out Roach, 85, Teflon Donna, 86, Wax Poetic, 957, Gingivitis, and 1818, and Frankenstein.
So both these teams coming off several losses. Each team both with a win. The Oli Rollers against Treasure Valley, and the Philly Roller Girls against KCR Dub, Kansas City Roller Warriors.
And both wanting to stake their last claim here at the Big O, especially when rankings are concerned. This is actually a good opportunity rankings-wise for Philly. Starting with V-Diva, Vanessa Seitz in the jammer cap. She's lead jammer.
And she pulls around Ragin' Red 6-2-0. Last line of defense for the Oli Rollers. Reanimator getting in there. She's trying to assist Lindsay Loblo, but there goes
V-Diva hops the entire apex for a quick 5-point scoring jam. And it looks like we're cycled back there, Spider.
Yeah, Lindsay Loblo recycled to the back of the pack. V-Diva with a 5-point pass.
Lindsay Lobo finds an inside line. They're Scared to Death, kind of holding the line there for initial pass.
Killa Kelly now working with Reanimator at the front. Reanimator not able to shut down V-Diva.
It looks like Philly's pack was doing a lot of mixing up in there. As soon as they got Lindsay Lobo out, they went in to try to do a lot of separation to give an easy pass for V-Diva, and it seems to have worked.
Interesting to see who Oli will put in jammer rotation as we go forward. That is going to be Tannibal Lecter, number 9, who is also serving as the captain, I believe, in this game.
And the other captain, Teflon Donna for Liberty Bells. I like them throwing Teflon Donna in right away, especially going toe-to-toe, toe-skate to toe-skate with Tannibal Lecter.
Tannibal Lecter getting an assist there from Sassy. Tannibal Lecter attempting to get around 1818 and Frankenstein. She does that. She is in that coveted lead jammer position.
So around the outside there for Teflon Donna for her initial pass.
Oh, huge jump of the apex for Tannibal Lecter.
It's great. That's going to take Oli to 4 to Philly's 14. See, I was sort of expecting to see V-Diva and Tannibal Lecter facing off as jammers. I'm wondering if we're going to see that matchup, or if they're intentionally offsetting each other.
I would imagine that at some point during this game it will happen.
It's a safe bet.
And that's going to be Mad Medic.
I believe that's Clam Jammer there.
It is Clam Jammer number 7. There's a whisper. Mad Medic just with ferocity tries to get around on the outside, but she's shut down by number 86, Wax Poetic.
And it's taken to the back. Meanwhile, Clam Jammer very quickly lead jammer, but huge Oli pack advantage here, Spider, as Clam Jammer goes back into the pack.
Oh, Killa Kelly going in for the kill. She's able to escape her. Reanimator goes in to chase her. Reanimator out of play.
Out of play. She gets the warning. She got the penalty. I don't think she knows.
She didn't. Now she knows. Reanimator in the first game the second game. Nope. Yep, the second game. She was fouled out during that game. So penalty's an issue for Oli.
last game for a reanimator. There are only 4 trips on the whole game, so that nice adjustment there for her. All right, Hannibal Lecter on the outside, but that is Brazilian Nut who gets through the jammer.
Hannibal Lecter going to chase her down. Look of ferocity on her face. She goes to push through. Was she able to put a point on the scoreboard?
Looks like she got her hips just past Chikachula for 2 points, 1 for the penalty box and 1 for Chikachula. 2-0 on that one.
Hannibal Lecter now going back to the bench. They're going to put in Lindsay Loblo, number 52, for the Oli Rollers.
That's Vanessa Seitz, V-Diva.
Second time at the line for her. Rage and Red heading back to the to the bench because Reanimator is in the penalty box.
3-3 in the track. Vanessa attacking the middle of the back wall there.
And Lindsay Loblo is out first, cleanly. It's a race now. V-Diva.
Yeah, she got the inside line there, and so she's smiling. She's out for blood. Look at that.
She was pretty emphatic when she got through on her last scoring pass in that initial jam, too.
Killer Kelly with a little bit of offense, picking off a point there for Lindsay Loblo. So that's 2 picked up by Oli on that. Credit to number 69, Killer Kelly, for getting at least 1 picked off and get the lap point there. Or sorry, not the lap point, the penalty box point before it cleared.
Killer Kelly being in each game for Oli this entire weekend.
Clam Jammer, number 7 again for Philly Liberty Bells. Hannibal Lecter again for Oli Rollers.
Hannibal Lecter trying to force her way through. Chikachula drops back for an assist. Sassy up at the front with Rage and Red. She is going to go in and...
Tarantula with the offensive hit there to give Clam Jammer her initial pass. Hannibal Lecter trying to eat the baby by feeding Clam Jammer to Sassy.
Yeah, that's right. So Hannibal Lecter and Sassy have been skating together forever, and she was just waiting it out for Sassy to come up, and it worked out well for Tana.
Very successful little truck and trailer defense with Sassy there in the front and Chikachula. And that's still the initial pass for Clam Jammer.
So it's 3 for 3 as far as lead jammer awardings here. Sassy, Chikachula, Blonde, and Bitchin at the front of the pack.
I don't know what Tana is doing, looking maybe for the right time of the apex to make her attack and get that opening. But the Philly defense has had a chance to reinforce, though.
Yeah, she was looking back at the penalty bench as well because Rage and Reg is in the penalty box. She may have been calculating how long that was going to be so she could come in for a thread.
5-0, though, worked out in her favor. They're taking it to 11 and the deficit down to 9.
Closing that gap to 9.
She was already sitting on the points. She was already backed
Yeah.
up, so then it was like, well, instead of wrestling for it, clear the bench and go. That makes sense.
Stay tuned for halftime when we will
Pack advantage only.
Also, at that same halftime.
How many times have you said that this weekend, Spider? No, that's great. They're making the adjustments. That's what it's about. Mad Medic out there fighting against that Philly wall at the front. Teflon Donna in the back there, Spider.
And Mad Medic pushes through on the inside lane to take the lead jammer status on behalf of the Oli Rollers as Killer Kelly was forced to the infield. Reanimator going to back up as she forced out.
Teflon Donna to the outside.
Indeed. And Mad Medic for a 5-point score and pass.
Nice. Everyone was picked off by Philly blockers, so nice little slalom for Teflon Donna to get her initial pass.
This is a huge change in gameplay, at least early on here for the Oli Rollers.
That's going to be a forearm called on
Mad
Mad
Medic.
She engaged right at the end there as she was going for those last points, but at first it would look like it was going to be a back block, but she engaged with her forearm, just one in the back, took down the opponent. Power jam for Philly. And since Oli was lead there, it's going to go 2 minutes. So it's about how Oli's defense can handle Teflon Donna because it doesn't like Philly's helping out with the offense.
Killer Kelly taking down Reanimator accidentally. Killer Kelly engaging Teflon Donna. She's going to get a... Was that a high block or
that was an out of play. She got the warning already and engaged after that. That's the second one in very recent memory, so Oli, something that I have to look at is just bring it to a stop when they get that out of play warning.
Reanimator and Equen, and we have Mad Medic back in. And again, she'd already been through on that initial pass, put some points on the scoreboard, and that's a 4-point pass for Mad Medic, 51-50.
Just muscled through the middle there. Very impressive.
Mad Medic going in, scared to death going in for an assist. She stays out in the front to help with the defense on Teflon Donna. Nice push into the infield by Gigi. Gigi's gonna get a forearm and head to the penalty box.
Gingivitis with a little bit of offense there, and it looks like, yes, Teflon Donna did pick up all of those points while she was stuck in the pack there.
So 5 points now separating the Ole Rollers from Philly. Philly currently in the lead, 21 minutes and some seconds left here.
Ole has knocked down the deficit a little bit at a time, one jam at a time, going since the first jam where a lot of points were picked up by Philly.
Sassy and Chikachula. Chikachula functioning as the pivot. Nice work by Brazilian Nut.
And despite the 4-2 blocker advantage, Tannibal gets out on that initial pass too. Ole going to protect the points in the front there.
Wise.
But all she needed was that pass from Killy Kelly to pick up 2 points there.
And 0 points for Tannibal Lecter. That's going to rank Philly to 32. Ole sitting at 25. Ole with a much different roster. Earlier today they were skating without Sassy. Sassy's now back. Lil Tonka was injured in the previous bout against Terminal City, and she will not be skating. She is all right, but the medical advice is for her to sit out.
No hockey on you too. Oh, Vanessa Seitz messing through the inside, lead jammer for Philly. And it looks like the cut is drawn there.
On Lindsay Loblo. Lindsay Loblo headed to the penalty box. This is the second jammer penalty for...
Forearm called on Vanessa Seitz. She engaged Reanimator, but she used her forearm and extended it out in the hit. That's where the call goes.
Yeah, but Lindsay Loblo only sat for, I don't know, like a second. Oh, and V Diva, she pulls right through. But Lindsay Loblo out in front of her now. She's a race. 5 points for V Diva. She's going to run that positional block.
Yeah, going for the defense here. But, you know, Philly's put all of Ole's blockers in the back, so it's more of an opportunity for V Diva to pick up points on that next pass.
Oh, and Reanimator's going to get a high block.
Yep.
Whoa.
Brought her arm up just high enough for that.
Just high enough.
And that is V Diva with 5 more points.
Lindsay Loblo through with 4 points of her own for Ole. That's going to bring Ole to 28.
Philly with an initial attack there. Gigi, number 88, catching Vanessa Seitz.
And Reanimator is sitting in the penalty box for a high block and for a cut.
Wow.
That's 2.
That's a whole minute in the penalty box. We got an out of play on Gigi there, number 88.
Raging Red scared to death now. The remainder of blockers on the track for the Ole Rollers. V Diva trying to push around Raging Reg. Lindsay Lobo now trapped at the back. Oh, Reanimator comes back in. Takes a huge hit on Wax Poetic.
Beautiful offense from her. She opened up the wall just enough. Created a quick pass for Lindsay Lobo.
Wax Poetic is a transfer from Hammer, I think.
Hammer City?
Yeah.
The last second, V Diva is able to creep through in the inside for 4 more points. Ended up being a big jam for Philly, pushing the lead 55 to 34.
Way to say that.
So the first 10 minutes, Ole playing relatively clean, stay on the track, but we saw a lot of penalties in that last jam. This is a moment for Ole to kind of take a breath and dial it back a little bit because they're still being effective, but they're starting to go for bigger hits and more aggressive play, and that's what's putting it in the penalty box.
Chikachula working with Sassy there at the front. We're going to have Tannibal Lecter released as the jammer. She is working a massive fall at the back. She tries to push herself around Heavy Flow.
Cram Jammer was already lead jammer very quickly there and only has Sassy to get past, which is kind of an understatement.
And I think Heavy Flow was going in to try to pull a track cut on Tannibal Lecter, but she then got the forearm, correct?
Out of play assessed on Sassy. Again, out of play is really hurting Oli here. Only 2 blockers in the way of Clamjammer.
And then we have Tana Electra through on the initial pass. Chikachula, Geekwen, Reanimator, Tarantula trying to get in there. She is the pivot for Philly.
They're setting up for Tannibal right now, but Clamjammer calls it, gets all 5 before the call off.
So V Diva has put 37 of those 60 points on the scoreboard.
And that's pretty close to what Filder said earlier. 60% of the offense is becoming from V Diva. Vanessa Sites.
Yes.
Brazilian Nut on the line for the Liberty Bells.
That is Mad Medic 5150.
Had a good jam earlier.
Yes, she
yesterday.
did. She is an asset for the Oli Rollers. She was pushed to the inside, and when they pulled a cut on her, and she's gonna head to the penalty box.
Yeah, there was a no pack called, but you're still eligible for cuts in the no pack. Great offense there from 357 Trixie Trauma, making the opening for Brazilian Nut, lead jammer. It's the power jam, and it's all defense in front there, Spider.
4th lead jam in a row here for Philly. Philly Roller Girls pulling around Sassy. Number 2, last line of defense.
Gigi's back, and Philly lets her reset the defense with them.
Gigi goes in for a hit, Kill Kelly as well. 5-point pass for Philly's the Brazilian Nut.
Mad Medic is back here, and Philly sets up the wall and the back to catch her.
It's amazing how quickly those 30 seconds pass.
Exactly. Like, oh, it's over. They're back. Okay, great.
Sassy positional block on Brazilian Nut. Brazilian Nut attempting to skirt on the outside. Kill Kelly spills on the straightaway right after turn 4.
24/7, devoid of mercy, getting a penalty. I'm sorry, I did not see that.
Turn 2, rather.
Nice defense in front. We got all of the skaters that was scared to death out there in the pivot helmet.
It's true. Sassy with a force out on the straightaway. And 5 points for Brazilian Nut. Mad Medic pushing her way around. Heavy flow.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it in front there too.
Take down on Sassy.
Quick attack and a call off. 2 more points there for Philly. Pushing that lead out, Philly 77, Oli 33. This works out really well for them in the standings. I believe Oli is 12 and Philly is 19 in WFTDA rankings.
That is correct. And the larger points they can draw above Oli's score, the better off it'll work for them.
Exactly. Reanimator jamming for Oli. Have we seen this?
I was not here for the entire game on Friday, but I have not seen this, I don't believe, the other 2 games.
Yeah,
3 games for Oli.
I don't recall it happening the first bout, so this is fun. Reanimator gets the inside there. Lead jammer for Oli. Teflon Donna 2 to beat there in the front. One of them's Tannibal Lecter.
That is, and the other one's Raging Reg. Oh, Raging Reg with a force to the inside on Teflon Donna, the captain for Philly. Chikachula now formulating a 2 with Raging Reg in the back, and assist by Tannibal Lecter, number 9.
Get a little offense in the front. The Reanimator gets out for 5 points. Natural grand slam there. 5 the hard way, in fact.
That offensive play at the front by Blonde and Bitchin.
Looks like she catches, is that Anne Frankenstein? No, Tarantula there up front. 5 more points. That's 10. And Tannibal back in the blocking position, which she loves. That's where she wants to be. Directional play picked up by Tannibal Lecter there on that, though.
And I don't think they can afford to lose Tana.
Well, it's still the initial pass for Chikachula with a nice force out. Direction of play call.
Raging Red, Blonde and Bitchin. Reanimator, though, able to pull through for the full 5 points for the Oli Rollers.
So that's still 15 points, and that's the initial pass there for Teflon Donna.
So Reanimator looks to her bench, and EC gives her the indication to call that off.
I like the switch up a lot. I like putting Reanimator in the jammer cap. We know she can jam. She has a long history of it. And she got through, no penalties. Like Tannibal out there in the blocking position again. She's probably going to do a little bit of both. Two huge penalty opportunities for Oli are out of play and direction. They're getting those, and it seems like a high rotation here.
Of the photographers in attendance.
Quick glam jammer. Oh, the outside gets capped by Scare It to Death. Lead jammer nonetheless.
And Quinn also goes in to assist Scare It to Death. Lindsay, low blow, going to the left, pulling around number 44, fully automatic for Philly.
Clam jammer already back in. Philly getting that separation from Oli, but Tannibal Elector in the front. And Frankenstein picks her off really quick, 4-0, and Frankenstein with the offensive attack on Tannibal, which you need. You're not getting around Tannibal by yourself. That's
No.
yeah.
Nor are you usually getting around Sassy by yourself.
No. You need that. It's all right. It's all right to ask for help.
I think maybe Philly has their number in that regard.
And we got Vanessa Sights back on. Philly 81, Oli climbing back in, 49 points. It's an official timeout. Philly staying in control, staying on the track overall. Nice execution. I like what's going on with Philly's offense, especially on the if their jammer gets out, they set it up really well. Get themselves in the middle, separate Oli's defense, and that's been working well for their jammers.
I think Oli is doing a nice job switching up the rotation a bit, trying to figure out Philly out and work with their skill set in order to stay in this with Philly. And I think that's really a possibility for Oli. The point differential is not that big. It's 10 minutes, 45 seconds left.
Yeah, it's about staying on the track, though. And
Yeah.
Overall, Oli's been having a better showing of that than they had the previous few bouts.
Yes.
So I think this is a good sign for them. V-Diva up against the four wall in front. Tannibal and Sassy a part of it. Wow.
That's what you don't want to see when you go to the front.
That's what you don't want to see. That's what I want to see as a spectator. Look at that fight.
Oh, Tannibal Lecter out of the penalty box.
Did you see the call? I think it was a forearm, but I'm not 100% on
I'm
it.
not 100% either.
Looks like V-Diva already back in. Just quickly juke Sassy.
Killer Kelly in the penalty box to join Tannibal Lecter, leaving Blonded Bitchin' and Sassy. Mad Medic is able to get around number 527, Heavy Flow.
Looks like there's going to probably be a forearm call there. Yeah,
Blonded
so
Bitchin'.
like
So we're just gonna cycle Blonded Bitchin' in. She's gonna sit down. Both Killer Kelly and Tannibal Lecter are standing, however.
may have been my fault for talking about how clean they've been. Official timeout.
So, Oli taking on Texas Roller Girls, losing to them 261-97, and then having a strong show against Treasure Valley 219-84, and then kind of crushingly, sort of out of the grasp, 9 points separating Terminal City and Oli earlier today, 9 a.m.
The great story about that was Oli's comeback over the last 10 minutes. They were down like 50, 60 points.
They were. At the half, they were down by 14 or so, 15 or 14.
And so, big run there by Terminal City, big answer by Oli. Clock management, the best friend of Terminal City in that last one, a minute and 58 less than the period before the jam clock started. So they were able to run out the score and match points.
Yeah, and
that was key.
And they were evenly matched. So the jam clock and the period clock, 47-45 or something, and then Terminal City really used that to their advantage. And Terminal City did a nice job with star passes.
Yeah, that's a game.
It was frequent during that bout.
Star passes you can neutralize certain opponents. You know, you're giving up lead jammer, but if you can get out first, you're going to get 0-0. You're just taking certain players off the track, whether it's a blocker or jammer you don't want to go with.
So back to Philly and Oli. We're going to have Scared to Death. She just decides not to try to outrace Brazilian Nut. Brazilian Nut is through in the lead. Kelly now released from the penalty box. She's going in for an assist on for a Reanimator.
Trixie Trauma on the one-on-one on Reanimator, drawing her back. And Oli drawn out all over the front there. Brazilian Nut finally gets around Kelly. 4 or 5 points.
Scared to Death going back to assist Reanimator. Reanimator then recycled to the back of the pack. Second time jamming for the Oli Rollers here in the first half for Reanimator.
Reanimator finally has reinforcements as all of the blockers are back. Someone's going to the penalty box. I don't know.
Hannibal Lecter.
I'm guessing a direction to play. 5 more points for Brazilian Nut.
Brazilian Nut.
Tarantula for the force out on Reanimator, taking her to the back.
Oh, Blonde Bitchin goes in.
A out of play call on Blonde Bitchin there in the front. Tarantula just kind of holding Reanimator. Reanimator attempting to go D and a 4-arm on Reanimator.
Yep,
there.
That's right. So Reanimator is the jammer. She's headed to the penalty box.
That's power jam for Philly. 3-3 in the pack. Brazilian Nut has 30 seconds and the opportunity to wind down the jam clock and start another power jam at the beginning.
Hannibal Lecter with a force out there on Brazilian Nut. Brazilian Nut is going to call it off.
There you go.
And they're going to start out advantageous for Philly. Power start for them going into the next jam.
Yeah, and gave herself a few more seconds for the power start. You would just have been wasting time after she had the 5 points.
No reason to fight Tana any longer.
Was that hockey on anyone that went out?
Well, she is.
It looks like she's rostered.
She is rostered and she is on the bench. I know that she has been suffering from a shoulder injury, so.
Claim Jammer not messing around, going up against Tannibal, and an out of play on Tannibal Lecter there. Lead jammer for Claim Jammer. Reanimator back, engaging the pack. All of them, including the other jammer. Looks like Hot Red Hussy drawing Reanimator back into the pack. Initial pass there for Reanimator. One-on-one blocking from Blonde Bitchin on Clam Jammer.
I'm guessing that is Tannibal Lecter's 4th trip to the penalty box. Sassy on top of Clam Jammer. Blonde Bitchin goes in for a bridge.
Sassy gets a force out, and it's a pass out of play. Apparently, Sassy went out of bounds as well. Reanimator almost through the center of the pack, but took a fall, cycling her back behind the wall of Electric Blue.
Tannibal Lecter, Sassy, Blonde and Bitchin. That's Geek Gwen.
Sassy had the force out there on the inside. Again, 2 in a row there, as well as Reanimator. Everyone's going backwards.
That's not the way that's supposed to work.
Well, this is their 4th bout apiece.
Yeah.
They're all been skating. Gets out the initial pass. Alrighty, so
Yes.
Philly 124. Confusing jam. Confusing jam. A lot of things happening in that jam. 49 Oli, Philly 124. 5 minutes left in the period. Team timeout called for Philly. I'm guessing a review. Yes, official review there for Philly. I'm wondering if it was the last pass on Reanimator.
I found it very curious.
That's
So no points for Oli for 4 jams, but I found it very curious. Reanimator knocked to the inside of the track. I'm not sure if I'm not exactly sure what happened right after that.
Well, for a second, I thought a penalty was called.
Yes, so did I.
But
I don't think there was a penalty.
Yeah, there wasn't. She was on the track. She kept going. It looked like her feet were out of bounds, but maybe there was no one behind her. You know, we have this straightaway angle here, so dimensions are messed up. Plus, we've been calling for 3 days straight. So.
What? Official.
Yeah, we will get you the official review, what it is, in the official
Capacity.
Exactly, which we won't get until after they decided. I'm guessing from what the gestures they were making, if that was a track cut on Reanimator at the end.
That's what I would be curious about that myself. She was a jammer. Earlier this weekend, Philly taking a loss to Rose 252, Philly 195, and then Philly besting KCR Dub 358 to 130, and then losing to Texas 356 171.
Oh, Texas is playing lights out this
They're
weekend.
on fire.
Oh my gosh! And this is just the start of the season for them, and they're playing at an even more advanced level than they were
Than they did last season.
Even the last bout where they almost became the Hydra winners by just a very short margin. They're playing better than that right now.
Yes, they are.
Like it's frightening. Like if anyone
or frightening or awe-inspiring.
Awe-inspiring. I hope people are taking notes from what they're doing because it is really sharp play. So, people are walking back. I see a sense. Oh, here we're going to check in with Sugar Daddy.
Here from challenge the lack of a cut call on the White Jammer in the previous jam. On review, the White Jammer entered the track in front of the engagement zone and therefore was still on her initial pass. No cut call will be made. Thank you.
Well, that was what we were wondering about.
And so no cutting the track penalty. She was still on her initial pass. She just sort of reset herself to the back. And so he goes. That's going to be, I think that's Chikachula. It is.
That is.
Number 13, Chikachula.
Throw everything on the wall. See what sticks. I love it.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, at this point.
No.
Nice.
Ragin' Reg goes in for a takeout number 85, Teflon Donna.
Now, looks like Philly, yes, they were able to draw the cut. She was forced to the inside. Everyone went running back. Sort of a late call, but yeah, that was on the between turn 3 and 4 there.
And that's at least 3 jammer penalties. And that's not, I'm not saying that's all, but there were at least 3.
Can't take a chance, especially on the cuts. Part of your foot goes a little bit out of bounds, you go all the way back. That was nice job, scared to death, staying on your skate there.
Frankenstein goes in and scared to death. Woo! Slips right around her.
Nice
just
check.
dropping. Teflon Donna was 6-2-0 Ragin' Reg.
And I believe that neutralizes the power jam here.
It does.
Nope. Chikachula's going to give him another shot. As she stepped out just for a bit, but apparently it was enough to pass somebody when she came back in.
So, jammer penalty. Second one for Chikachula. She heads back to the box. Teflon Donna gets around Ragin' Reg.
Nice
that is
offense.
Hockey Honey.
Yeah, that is. I was just going to say.
That's interesting. I know she was, experiencing some pain earlier. So.
Well, she's a competitor. She's going to want to go in and help out her team, so that pain has a way of taking care of itself in those moments.
Yeah, that's true.
5 more points for Teflon Donna, and they're going to ice Chikachula, it looks like.
Town of Elector back and play with Sassy and Lindsay Loblow. And I would guess that's Blonde and Bitchin'. It is.
And we got Vanessa Sides, B-Diva, in the jammer position.
B-Diva taking a very relaxed sort of stance as she comes off the line. And Blonde and Bitchin' attempting that bridge. Lindsay Loblow headed to the penalty box. And V-Diva is your lead jammer.
Chikachula back up against, mixing it up. Nice
Pulls
offense
through.
from Blonde and Bitchin', making the opening for Chikachula's initial pass.
Whoa, and Blonde and Bitchin', she gets, I don't know, caught up in a back block. That's going to send V-Diva to the penalty box for a back block penalty, so that's going to leave Chikachula in the power jam.
Yeah, she got a little tripped up and fell on Blonde and Bitchin's back there, so there you go.
Impact.
And there's Chikachula wrestling for the inside there. Oli trying to go offense.
Yeah, she was swarmed by Philly and enough offensive maneuvering there by Sassy Tana. And
Specifically, Sassy Tana came in and made that screen on the inside. This time Chika going for the outside. Nope, inside.
No, and a nice sweep by Tannibal Lecter once again with that offensive maneuvering. I feel like sometimes Tannibal Lecter and Sassy can read each other's minds.
Sometimes?
Yeah, I really think that might be true.
I think it might be all the time.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, but V-Diva right out of the box with 4 points on the scoreboard. Chikachula dropped to the track, and then she's pushed to the infield by Papa Roach.
That time, V-Diva just got it right around Lindsay Loblow.
Yeah.
You know, I get the sense that these skaters feel like we do. We just feel like the power jam should be longer, and then all of a sudden that jammer's
Whoa.
back. Nice drop from Blonde and Bitchin' on V-Diva there in the back.
Lindsay Loblow, and we're looking for the bridge here. Chikachula, she's gonna get stuck behind Tarantula, Heavy Flow, and Papa Roach. Joined now at the back by Castro, and V-Diva with another 5 points, and Sassy to the penalty box for a direction of gameplay penalty.
We have time for one more jam.
We
here.
do?
Yeah. The sense is, with the new rule set, direction of play is vastly limited as long as it doesn't have impact. However, someone goes down, someone goes out of bounds, it's impact. So that hit that Sassy put on, they were still on the track. It would have had no difference. But once V-Diva went out of bounds, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
Does that scare her to death?
It is
Jamie?
scared to death. This is the first time we've seen her jam in this game.
That's Clam Jammer. This is one of many, many jams that she's had this game.
Reanimator, GG, and Killer Kelly spreading it out there. Oh, and scared to death, able to evade number 86, Wax Poetic.
Not before Clam Jammer could push out 20 feet and get her initial pass. Looks like more Oli in there than Philly. It looks like a cut track was picked up from Clam Jammer. Power jam.
Then this is a 5-point pass for Scared to Death. She pulls through. She's on the track. She is on the power jam. Sassy GG. Oh, nice move at the back by Killer Kelly. Another 5 points for the Oli Rollers.
And a 4-3 blocker advantage for Oli.
So Reanimator, GG, Sassy, Killer Kelly. Oh, Reanimator goes in for a sweep. And interestingly enough, Frankenstein appeared to be looking at that impact, and Scared to Death took advantage of the inside.
It was a psych out offense. And now Oli going for the trap offense as Scarab blasts through.
This is a huge jam for Oli. Huge pile up there. We are going to have
Clam Jammer snuck back in. Again, not ready for the short power jam. She gets a 4-point scoring pass out of that.
And there goes Clam Jammer. Scared to Death now stuck at the back. Oli taking care of Clam Jammer at the front. Run that sternum block. Oh, nice sweep though there by Frankenstein.
And Frankenstein, and then there's a cut on Reanimator.
Killer Kelly.
Drawing back Clam Jammer. Scared looking for a little offense. Gigi trying to help her out there in the back.
Oh, wow.
Nice outside run there from Clam Jammer around Gigi. As Gigi's going offense, the lane opened up. And looks like Scared to Death was hanging on to 3 more points. That is the halftime. Oli at 91, Philly at 151. Little run by Oli at the end, but they got to be careful of those power jams.
They have to not have their jammer in the box. I know that's a revelation to everyone.
We're blowing
including
minds
me.
here at the Big O.
Mind blown.
All right, got Spider here. Just Jake, we're going to check in with the bit, and we'll get Phil Dirt's halftime analysis.
All right, folks, this is Phil Dirt back out with you. I just want to go over some points here, Jake and Spider, that we had. So we were saying at the beginning, one of the keys for Ole, stay on the track. Well, Ole not doing a very good job of that. 26 penalties so far, including 5 for Reanimator, 4 for Tannibal Lecter, and 4 for Chikachula. Control V-Diva. You know what? They haven't actually done a bad job of that. V-Diva, though, does have 59 points and is 3 for 5 in lead jammer. We also said head game. Don't get bent out of shape over penalties. We've seen it. They don't believe that some of the penalties are penalties, so they're not hustling to the box. And it's not working out in the scoreboard, 151 to 91. For Philadelphia, some keys were stay on the track. Not great job on that either. 16 penalties so far, but not a bad job. Doing better than Ole in that case. Spread out the scoring. Try and get more than just V-Jiva out there with the star on. Excellent job by Philadelphia on that. We've got, yes, V leads the scoring with 59, but Brazilian Nut out there with 51 and Clam Jamper with 28. So great job spreading that out. And also controlling the tempo. I think they've done a good job of controlling the tempo. They've been slowing it down. They've been able to get a lot of their jammers out of the pack, out at 20 feet by dragging it out, and Ole has been chasing, which winds up with a lot of penalties on their case. So Philadelphia following the game plan, working their game, and leading 151 to 91 right now. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Phil Dirt. Astute analysis as always. Spider, what's Ole got to do to jump back in?
Well, we were mentioning being on the track, and unfortunately, Reanimator, Tannibal Lecter, and Chikachula all used in their power line. Their power line, if they were using one, and being in the box that many times is going to be painful potentially here in the second half.
V-Diva right away around the outside, lead jammer taking advantage of numbers. Looks like scared to death out there, still in an initial pass. Shrugging off a hit from Blonde Bitchin for a 5-point scoring pass.
Yeah, and Reanimator goes in for a hit, and she realizes how far forward she is, and she disengaged quickly. So
scared to death finally made her initial pass there. I think it was an outside pass as well. Philly going in to open up the offense.
Vanessa Seitz, 4 points for Philly.
Philly blockers go to spread out the defense there, attack the defense. It's almost like they get in the center and they pick them off at 4 different directions. And so there's nothing but a clear inside path there. I like that offensive attack that Philly's demonstrated here this weekend.
If you can pick apart somebody else's defense, it's working well for you.
It's a good look.
Yeah.
It's a good look. Is that Brazilian Nut? Is that Brazilian Nut? That's Brazilian Nut up against the front there.
Gigi goes in. That's going to be Tannibal Lecter. And we're going to have Brazilian Nut Lindsay making it through. However, Lindsay Low Blow. Oh, Brazilian Nut almost losing her footing and going to the inside. That's going to be Lindsay Low Blow usurping Brazilian Nut.
And Ole's blockers get into the front of the pack, so everyone's forcing the call off 0-0, negating that lead jammer.
Because there's no point then for Brazilian Nut to push the issue if there are no blockers in the back of the pack to pass.
They've got 69-point lead.
Mad Medic, 51-50.
Clam Jammer out there as well.
And currently, no one in the penalty box. I know. I was being very quiet.
Quiet. Mad Medic attacking the wall in the back there, going left, right, inside. Finds a hole, grabs through.
And there it is.
Lead jammer, Mad Medic.
That worked really nicely for Mad Medic. We are going to have Clam Jammer going on the outside. Again, an opportunity is what she looks for, and she finds the deficits in the line. But that's going to be Mad Medic with 4 points prior to Clam Jammer being able to put any points on the scoreboard on that pass.
Ole picked off the trap right away, and as Philly was adjusting and opened up the inside line just a little bit, that's all she needed. She had to pick up speed to get those points.
A very successful pass for Mad Medic.
Not messing around. Here it is. V-Diva, number 18.
And Tannibal Lecter. We've been waiting.
And the other thing we don't want to mention, 4 Oli blockers in the front holding on to V-Diva, 4 Philly blockers in the back holding on to Tannable.
Tannable Lecter forcing her way, but that's going to be V-Diva picking up lead jammer status. Tannable Lecter through on her initial pass. She is running the chase here.
Philly in the middle, splitting the defense. Easy juke to the outside for V-Diva.
And she knew that she knew that she got it. And she saw the 2 blockers. She picked them off the back and then called it off.
Well timed.
Yeah. Timing is everything, so they say.
They do say that. Brazilian Nut. Oh, wait, is that Brazilian Nut? Yes, it's a Brazilian Nut. And 5150, after a very successful jam, we got Mad Medic back out there, Spider.
She had a little bit of a rest time there, so.
A few seconds.
Yeah, that's right. There is never say die. So here comes Mad Medic, scared to death. Oh, yeah, so we got a forearm penalty now. That says to Mad Medic. She's headed to the penalty box. This is a jammer penalty.
I believe that was Trixie Trauma with the great offense on Reanimator to make the opening, but Brazilian Nut was caught in the meantime and cycled back. I believe that was Blonde Bitchin with the hit out.
Scared to death, Blonde Ambition, still run that. Oh, wow. Blonde Ambition goes in for a huge hit with her hip. Takes down Brazilian Nut. Brazilian Nut then trying to juke around. Reanimator, she goes to the left and then gets around Blonde Ambition.
Nice timing, though. Call it, like, so far only 1 scoring pass on the power jam.
And Mad Medic has been released, so she will be released from the penalty box. She goes back about a half track, and Blonde Bench in direction of gameplay. Oh,
out of play, yeah, out of play there. 5 more points for Brazilian Nut and a back block on Mad Medic.
That's going to bring Mad Medic to 4.
You know, Oli keeps getting these little good looks, and then the penalties start messing with them.
Yes.
Scared to death with the force out on Brazilian Nut, so she's going to call it, starting Mad Medic in the penalty box along with Blonde Bitchin.
I'm actually curious if they'll put Blonde and Bitchin. She's sitting on 2, and she has a background as a jammer. She's relatively newly returned to the Oli Rollers. She had taken a break there for babies.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Not injuries.
They do that. That's kind of the same thing.
That's
Sorry. Clam Jammer there.
Going again. Tana Lecter, Gigi, and Sassy.
We got the Tannable Sassy team there. Out of play is warned.
And an out of play on Sassy. That's going to bring Sassy penalties to 3.
You got to keep an eye on those out of play warnings. Clam Jammer attacking just 2 up front. Nice takedown by Tannable Lecter up front. Mad Medic is back. She's got Tarantula and Castro holding on to her. Heavy flow up there as well.
Tannable Lecter was not messing around with that hit.
She rarely does.
Well, I don't know if the camera caught her facial expression.
Looks like they're trying to get a cut there in the back from Hot Rod Hussey, but not successful. But
lead by Blonde and Bitchin, effective on Clam Jammer, and a whip on Mad Medic from Tannable Lecter, the pivot for the Oli Rollers. That is going to put Mad Medic through on her initial.
She took out a couple people with that hit. And another hit from Blonde and Bitchin on Brazilian Nut. I don't see a call made on that, but it looks like they're reviewing with the outside, probably to see if there was impact or direction there.
And Sassy's headed to, I think the EMT, she might be bleeding from her arm, minor, and this is an official timeout. And Sugar Daddy says, let's get it going. He is the head here for this game.
Now, as much as I enjoyed seeing Tannable and Vanessa Seitz jam against each other, I'm also looking forward to Tannable blocking against Vanessa Seitz.
An interesting mix. Tannable Lecter staring her down. Reanimator tries to go in for that hammer and nail maneuver, and she just misses, and Vanessa Seitz is through.
Vanessa Seitz, yeah, just got around really quick around Tannable for that initial
Oh,
pass.
and just muscles her way around Reanimator, and then around Tana on the inside, or Tana Lecter on the inside. Lindsay Loblo getting stuck at the back with Devoid of Mercy.
Oh, Reanimator using Kill It Kelly to take down
Low block
Vanessa
penalty
Seitz.
on Vanessa Seitz. Power jam for Lindsay Loblo.
Yeah.
An assist there by Tannable Lecter for Lindsay Loblo. Lindsay Loblo attempting to get out.
Reanimator's like, what did I do? Oh, wait. No, that's not on me.
Leaving Lindsay Lobo out there with the
A 180 to 95 substantial lead for Philly there. Lindsay Loblo getting swarmed on by Philly, dropped out. She has to enter behind everybody now.
And so she dropped to a knee and then took herself out of play intentionally. Otherwise, she would have been called on a cut. And she's back in. Reanimator with an assist. Tannable Lecter, Kill Kelly, scared to death. And Mater, Reanimator working the backpack. Wow. Spin and a fall for Wax Poetic as Lindsay Loblo threw for 5 points. However,
Vanessa
Seitz is back.
And she catches
Whoa.
and that's
Interesting. And that's going to be a high block for Reanimator.
And
call on that one.
So
I didn't see the call on Tannable Lecter either.
I didn't see the call on Tannable Lecter, but Tannable Lecter now sitting on 5 penalties. We have 20 minutes left in the last half.
Reanimator putting her hands out there, not swinging them, just keeping them out there, but it looks like if she gets them moving enough, that high block is a dangerous penalty that's going to get drawn from that.
And that's twice for a high block penalty in that manner.
Shug talking to them right now, talking to Reanimator, and
Reanimator is done.
I don't know if that's a foul out or.
Well, if she picked up the high block and another penalty, that would be 2, and that would be her foul out. Or yeah, so it is a foul out. So she got 2. She drew 2 penalties. The high block. And so Tannable Lecter in the penalty box. Who is going to sit for? Is that going to be Killa Kelly?
Yeah, Kelly will go in for
Reanimator, and that's a minute because it was 2 penalties.
or however much time was taken off
yeah.
before the end there.
Right.
From a minute.
Yeah. Excellent clarification. Sassy and Chikachula. We're going to have Mad Medic with a star once we get started.
Mad Medic, who ran into penalty trouble the last time she was out.
Yeah, Mad Medic sitting on 4. Chikachula sitting on 4.
How's Sassy doing? 3? It's like 3.
Yes, that is 3. But is this the fifth or sixth trip now for Tana Lecter? Might be the 6th.
That's a shrugged off hit there for Teflon Donna, lead jammer.
Oh, Mad Medic with a nice little maneuver there. I feel like she channeled some Onda Sly. Onda Sly not skating here. She was on the 20. Chikachula now out of bounds. Chikachula at the back. Mad Medic. Tana Lecter is also back in.
Yeah, Teflon Don had a quick juke on the outside of Sassy to call that off for 4 points.
So 194-103 in favor of the Liberty Bells.
Liberty Bells locking this down, and they were going to favor. This is going to favor them in the rankings highly at this rate. They've got 2-1 almost on Oli, and they're behind 7 places in the rankings, so that's nothing but good for them right now.
And the points in the second half, 36 points for Philly, 9 for Oli.
Wow. Brazilian Nut getting forced out by Gigi, drops back in.
Gigi now going in for the stop on Brazilian Nut. Brazilian Nut evades Lindsay Loblo, stuck at the back.
And Brazilian Nut and Gigi at it again. Brazilian Nut now gets the 20 feet, gets the lead jammer.
So Killa Kelly has been released from the penalty box. She served the time for Reanimator. Blonde and Bitchin' now working with Killa Kelly.
And Gigi is all over Brazilian Nut, but Brazilian Nut gets through on the inside, calls it off, and that's going to be 4-0 favoring Philly.
Should bring them to 198, right? Or just 190? Ah, 198. As if by magic.
Hannibal back up to the jammer line. Claim jammer as well for Philly, number 7 there.
Hannibal Lecter sitting on a plethora of penalties here. Calculated risk, though, because Hannibal Lecter can and is an amazing asset, and she almost got through.
Tarantula gets around the outside and catches her, but Tarantula picks up a penalty. It might have been a cut. I'm not 100% on that.
Sassy going in for assist and a defensive move on Clamjammer, but Hannibal Lecter is the lead. Clamjammer now racing up to Hannibal Lecter.
Clamjammer got to the inside there.
Was it enough? Let's see if Hannibal Lecter 0-0-0.
0-0. Both walls were set up there. That was going to be a hard one for either one side to get points out of. Vanessa Seitz on the line again.
Mad Medic.
Blocker advantage for Oli. 4-3.
Oli can work on that.
Mad Medic. It looks like a forearm for Vanessa Seitz, so
that's a cut track for Mad Medic. Cut track for Mad Medic. That's 5 for Mad Medic.
So these will offset very quickly, and Tarantula will be back in time. So we'll have all the blockers out there. Vanessa Seitz coming around. Barely grazing the front of the 20 feet there.
Oh, Tarantula. Fancy footwork there. She pushes herself to the front.
Gigi gets the force out, and
she cuts
Vanessa Seitz, yeah, she just stood in, but she was fully standing, then fell. But she came up with, and, oh, okay, I was like, I thought we were offsetting again. That's the initial pass for Mad Medic.
Devoid of Mercy headed to the penalty box.
She got a cut track on that. Mad
Medic. 5-point pass for the Oli Rollers.
Resist the hit to the inside there.
Yeah. Scared to death. Gigi, Lindsay Loblo, Tarantula giving clear communication. Nice 2 at the front.
Mad Medic stays on her skates, doesn't go outside, and gets through the middle there. Vanessa Seitz back, shrugging off a hit from Scared to Death, number 2X. Shrugging off all the hits. Foot went out of bounds, but so did the opponent she hit, so that's initial pass.
Mad Medic with 10 points. She's going on a scoring pass here. Yeah. And that'll be 4 more points for Mad Medic.
Vanessa Seitz attacking the middle of the Oli wall.
Containment is key on Vanessa Seitz.
Blonde and Bitchin' tried to take her to the outside.
And Geekwin does take her to the outside. Scared to Death joins Gigi. Mad Medic.
Mad Medic, yeah, got dropped inside. This time went to the back. Good move on her part. 3 more points for Vanessa Seitz, 3 more for Mad Medic.
201 to 120. 14 minutes, 16 seconds left in the final period. Vanessa Seitz with 23 points. Brazilian Nut 13 and Clamjammer 4 in the second half.
All right, quick inside pass. Hannibal Lecter, lead jammer.
She's a go-to. She's a workhorse for Oli, Hannibal Lecter, and she is very effective. We're gonna have the pivot for Philadelphia. Philly Roller Girls set it to the penalty box.
That was Hot Rod Hussey with a forearm, and I did not see the one for Killer Kelly.
I didn't see the one on Killer Kelly either.
Initial pass there for Teflon Donna. And
Hannibal Lecter knows that Teflon Donna is on the way, so she's going to call it, and that's going to be 4 points for Hannibal Lecter.
Good reach, he had the 4 points. Scared to Death, it looks like, going to step on the jammer line. And that is Brazilian Nut out there as well.
3-on-3. Formulating the blockers for each team.
And Scared to Death attacking the inside, then the middle.
Scared to Death.
Blonde Bitchin and Gigi both on Brazilian Nut, who goes around the and to the outside to the inside, finds the lane, lead jammer. Scared to Death getting knocked around, Gigi with the offense. Scared to Death shrugs off a hit from Anne Frankenstein for her initial pass. Everyone getting hit everywhere. A forearm assessed.
It is all the hitting.
I didn't see this. There, 2 points picked up by Philly.
Tennille Lecter, again, not surprising for me because truly when things get very challenging, Tennille Lecter is generally a very wise choice for Ole and would be for any team.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
With this kind of point spread.
In whatever position.
That's right.
Tennille Lecter working on heavy flow in the back. They're getting caught up behind Tarantula in the wall.
Oh, Clamjammer knocked out by Rage and Reg.
It's going to be a forearm on Rage and Reg, I believe.
But Tarantula also forcing Tennille Lecter to the back of the pack. And that resets, and we are going to have good work. I believe that was Trixie Trauma. It could be heavy flow.
Clamjammer dodges a hit from Chikachula in the front for lead jammer there. Tennille Lecter gets a hit and a back block penalty. Power jam Clamjammer.
And that could be Tennille Lecter's 6th trip or 7th trip to the box, however.
Gigi getting the force out, but not the cut.
Sassy and Chikachula working on Clamjammer. Gigi is bridging the pack. You're going to have Tarantula move forward, try to sweep out Sassy. Sassy is able to maintain that position. Forced out by Chikachula to the inside. Clamjammer.
Calling off. She did get her 4 points, though, before it got called off.
So that must have been the 6th trip?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, at least, yes.
Well, it didn't appear there that there was a mad rush to
release her.
I don't know, by the officials, but, you know. And usually they're, you know, acutely aware of when people are getting close. And the non-skating officials and officials are on top of stuff like that, especially always.
But if they lose Tannibal, that's huge. Vanessa Seitz, V-Diva
Oh.
out there jamming, stays in the line, and lead jammer for Philly.
And Lindsay Lobla with that concerted effort right on the inside, and Vanessa Seitz.
Kelly, Lindsay Loblo all up in there. Looks like a high block there on Vanessa Seitz, and that is a forearm
on Tennille Lecter.
And that is going to be her.
Danger Will Robinson.
So
high block on Vanessa Seitz. We have Tennille Lecter, and she's sitting in the box. And that's her 7th trip. She should sit.
Yeah, she'll be sitting the remainder of the bout. So unless V-Diva goes back to the penalty box, the rest of this jam will be V-Diva.
Okay. And we are going to have the referee. Tennille Lecter now has fouled out. So that's Reanimator fouling out. Tennille Lecter also fouling out.
V-Diva just pushing the front of that wall. They're picking off one at a time.
And we were talking earlier, at least Phil Dirt was mentioning the head gate. It's something like this, very difficult to sort of contend with. You're losing Reanimator and Tennille Lecter. However, still a deep bench, so Sassy and Gigi on.
It looks like that was devoid of mercy, 247 with the destruction penalty there.
I think that's 4th time to the penalty box for devoid of mercy. 5th? 4th?
4 points there, passing a player out of bounds there for V-Diva. Nice attack by Philly, no pack assessed.
That's 50 in play for Oli. Lindsay Loblo headed to the penalty box. She is functioning as the pivot.
5 more points now. That pushes the lead to 101 points for Philly. They got to capitalize on that entire jam as a power jam because of the 7th trip, the foul out for Tannibal Lecter. That's huge for Oli right now. 8 minutes left, no Tannibal Lecter, and no Reanimator.
Sassy, Chikachula, Blonde Bitchin, Scared to Death. 50, One Smart Cookie, Mad Medic, Lindsay Loblo, Killicully.
Is left.
Gwen, you know. Ragin' Reg has experienced a hockey, and so does Gigi, number 88.
She got the force out there. Chikachula got the force out to the outside.
Oh, Sassy going for the force out on
Sassy,
Teflon Donna.
Going one-on-one in Teflon Donna. The Philly wall catches Chikachula. She shrugs off a hit to the inside.
So there goes Chikachula, as she is lead for the Oli Rollers.
Shrugged off a hit from Ann Frankenstein, too. Sassy with the force out, but it is
out of play.
Out of play. Chikachula attacking the wall, getting a little offense from Lindsay Loblo.
Nice assist from Gigi for Chikachula.
Chikachula calls it off way too late as it's going to be at least 4-3. Yes, 4-3 there as Teflon Donna attacked the inside there.
6 minutes, 40 seconds left in the second period. And we're going to sit at Man Medic, 51-50. Blonde and Bitchin, Lindsay Loblo. But we're at a deficit for Oli's pack advantage in favor of Philly, 4-3.
Brazilian Nut, number 16 at the jammer line.
And Brazilian Nut, I think, thus far in this half with 15 points.
Around the outside, Mad Medic lead jammer.
But Mad Medic also sitting on 21 points, so she, you know.
Round the outside, Brazilian Nut as well.
And look at that. Points in the back can be had. Mad Medic should she did call it off. I was going to say this is the time she should call it off, and that's what happened.
Force out with a call out. Definitely not points for Philly. We're reviewing whether or not there were points for Oli on that.
We have a cut track penalty on Mad Medic. So Mad Medic, cut track penalty. She was the jammer, and when she was the jammer, she incurred the cut. She's now sitting in the penalty box. This will start out with, I'm not sure that Lindsay Loblo now being
removed. Yeah,
removed from the track.
I think it was a late call coming from the. I think it was a late call coming from the OPR from the previous
outside.
pass.
Oh, huge hit by Chikachula, and then Gigi goes in.
Clam jammer up there, contending there, shrugging off the hit.
Castro goes in to take out 50.
Faster pack working there, but it separates defense a little bit. There's Geek Gwen one-on-one with Clam Jammer, getting some support from
Chikachula. Chikachula now running that positional block, and we're going to have Clam Jammer. She gets no pass, no penalty, and so she's not lead.
Mad Medic's initial pass still has the potential
And
to get
there it
lead
is.
Jammer. There she does. Points already being accrued here for Clam Jammer. In fact, probably 4. Indeed.
Yes.
Maneuvers through there.
Mad Medic is lead. And the majority of Oli at backpack, Sassy.
Nice point protection for Philly, getting the whole wall up front there. Mad Medic attacks the middle, tries to get what she can. It doesn't look like any points on that, though.
She made the decision, though, and she called it off in time.
To not give up points either.
That's right. So she was
Which
aware.
is also important.
It is important.
4 minutes left. Philly 233, Oli 130. Big bout for Philly here, coming out of Big O.
I'm really excited to see Oli skating again. And
In the WFTDA.
Okay, I wasn't going to make that distinction. However,
I know what you mean.
Well, they didn't actually stopped skating WFTDA. They did have 2 sanctioned WFTDA games last season. It
Yeah, I
happened.
saw that London bout. That was incredible.
I was there.
That was a great time.
It was great.
Teflon Donna jamming for Philly, muscling on that diamond defense in front.
And Philly doing an excellent job. Knocked out by V-Diva, Lindsay Lobo, Blonde and Bitchin'.
Looks like
Direction.
an out of play, yeah.
All right.
Out of play direction, very close hand signals. It was definitely one of them. Lead jammer, Teflon Donna makes around, already engaging that 3-wall.
Scared to death. Staring on Teflon Donna. Killer Kelly
with
knocked
the
her out.
force out, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And there's
Lindsay Loblo. Oh, knocked out by
Getting it
Vanessa Seitz.
Vanessa Sides inviting Lindsay Loblo back. Pass out a play there in the front for Teflon Donna.
So now Teflon Donna with 11 points.
Only has to pass 2 blockers right now.
Blonde and Bitchin' getting out in front of Vanessa Seitz. Vanessa Seitz just really attentive to Lindsay Loblo's position.
Inside lane opens wide up for Teflon Donna for a 5-point scoring pass. Sorry.
Yep. And Blonde and Bitchin' goes in for a hit on Teflon Donna. Goes in again for a hit on Teflon Donna.
Vanessa Sites waiting for Lindsay Loblo, drops her to the outside. And that's a back block on Vanessa Sites.
Headed to the penalty.
So Blonde and Bitchin' with the force out.
Blonde and Bitchin', Rage and Reg. And a cut track penalty on Lindsay Loblo.
That's 2 minutes. We'll see if Foley calls the timeout. Does it look like it? I don't think Philly's going to. So we're going to run clock off this with one more jam. If Philly gets lead jammer, they will. I imagine it'll be running the clock for the rest of the time.
Philly 251. Holy Rollers 130.
Official timeout. Why not?
Penalties coming into play here for the Ole Rollers against Philly.
Sugar's like, let's go. Do this.
Thank you to Phil Dirt.
So 3-2 blocker advantage for Ole. 1-0 jammer advantage for Brazilian Nut of Philly here, number 16.
Chicachula, Geekwood, and Sassy out on the track for the Ole Rollers. Brazilian Nut almost getting forced down by Geekwood, and Chicachula goes in for a hit. Now Sassy in, and you have Tarantula getting on top of Killer Kelly, and they're just going to patiently wait. We're going to have Brazilian Nut pull through to take lead jammer status, and released from the penalty box, number 44, fully automatic.
Ole
As
keeping
well
it
as-
spread open a little bit. As Chicachula and Sassy are holding on. Brazilian Nut gets forced to the inside, dances back in behind Sassy.
Yeah, there's a nice little push assist from Chicachula on Sassy. Sassy is now headed to the penalty box.
Inside lane opens up for Lindsay Loblo, so she gets her initial pass there. And there's Brazilian Nut, hit to the inside, stays in bounds, goes to the outside for another pass, muscles through. It looks like it's trading points there with Lindsay Loblo.
Lindsay Loblo going in for a shoulder check on Brazilian Nut.
Drops to the outside. There is 25 seconds left in period play. And Philly racing the pack now in front, protecting the points and killing time.
Yeah, they're good. Oh,
Each team going in for one more. That was a back block assist.
that's 44, fully automatic.
Yeah.
Recently returned from the penalty box. And now
Brazilian
she's
engage. Period clock has come to an end. This is officially the last jam here, and Brazilian Nut goes ahead and calls it off.
unofficial score now.
It'll be, I think, 268, 140 unofficially.
Yeah.
Maybe just 268, 140.
It's a strong win here for Philly. Philly coming in as 19th, ranked 19th against the number 12, the Ole Rollers.
Ole Rollers definitely coming into a hard weekend. That was winning 1 out of 4 bouts here this weekend. Missing some people from their charter, though, that I think were instrumental.
Yeah, no, agreed. And losing Lil Tonka and Hockey Honey with injuries. I mean, we saw Hockey Honey come to the track once, but now her shoulder is wrapped. She just, giving it her all. Huge win for Philly.
Great play, great physical play. I mean, we saw they had the smart game, we saw they had the defensive game, now we had to see the physical game. Philly, legendary.
Yeah, and
Bells.
it was a mixed bag for Philly. So Philly 2 wins now for the Big O.
Good luck for them. Congratulations to the Liberty Bells All-Stars. Congratulations to Ole Rollers. Congratulations to all of you. We are going to check in very shortly with the Derby Deeds desk. Spider.
As always, a pleasure. Just Jake.
As well, Spider.
It takes me a second.
The pleasure, me too. The pleasure's all mine. We will check in with them in just a moment here. And thanks to Phil Dirt for all the good.
Hello and welcome to the DerbyDees.com events desk here at the Big O. And hey, it's here. Grab that handheld.
Hi, Pitchett.
Look at this.
What's up, guys? Hey, Pitchett just finished playing roller derby.
Yeah, I did. We'll get one of the mics turned on.
Perfect.
So Pitchett will give us the score update from that. But
Oh, wow, I have no idea. We lost by 102 points.
There you go.
246 to 144.
Around there when I passed
anyway,
last,
whatever
yeah.
it was. We lost by 102 points, but we had a great game. Super physical, just
Oh
like
my
we
God.
expected. It was insane.
Every time I walked over there to watch you guys, it was hard hit after hard hit after hard hit. So many people out of play just because they're getting knocked around the entire game.
Yeah, it was brutal, for sure. We expect that from those guys. That's how they play. And unfortunately, we came a little bit out of our comfort zone to play that way, and of course it cost us. So
we had right here on track 1, a very physical and very penalty-heavy game between Philly and Ole. The score on that one, 263 to 140. We just finished watching that. And then out on track 3 right now is Puget Sound versus Bridgetown. An amazing game. We want to finish up really quickly so you can watch the end of that game because the lead changes have been back and forth the entire game.
yeah, just what we expected from that game, right? These guys want it bad, all of them.
yeah.
So we're going to do a quick update. Track 3 earlier, Rose City 428 to Treasure Valley's 38. Track 2, Terminal City took the win, 249 to Kansas City's 150. Update from Kim Jana. It does look like she has a broken leg, and so, but a break is much better than a tear or a sprain, so we wish her a very speedy recovery.
Heal up quick, Jana.
And coming up next on track 1 right behind us is going to be the Team USA skaters versus the MVPs from all of the games here in the Big O. And we have that list. So Tina Mussolini, would you like to read the list? Or
Sure.
shall we
I'll read it. All right. So coming up next against Team USA, we've got Rusty Machete from Humboldt, Psychotic Rage from Emerald City, Peace War from Texas's B Team Firing Squad. Axel Fury was voted MVP from Kokeshi, but will not be playing in the game. But congrats to Axel Fury. La Lucha from SAC, Hostabas from Texas. Tarantula from Philly, who also was awarded MVP but will not be playing in the upcoming game. Ziploc from Philly's B Team. Death Proof from Tucson. Jennings from Rose's B Team, Axles of Annihilation. Ruth Canal from Kansas. Loose Chaos from Arizona. Scarlet Danger from Treasure Valley. Admiral Attack Bar from Old Ricky.
That's awesome.
Sangria Punch from Pikes Peak. Lauren Much from Rose City. Suget from Terminal City, Evil Twin from Silicon, and just announced Lindsay Loblo from Ole. So
Wow, that list
a lot
is
of great
sick.
names on there.
Yeah.
It's
That
gonna be a
list
good
is sick.
game.
Now, what will make the difference is whether they can gel together quick enough to actually put up a fight.
And
Yeah.
you know, as we know, the Team USA skaters, they've been practicing a lot more together, and they've been doing a lot more events, a lot more clinics. So it's going to be very, very fun. So that is, I'm excited about this upcoming action here on track 1. So and that's going to be it. That's going to be the end.
Go watch the end of that Puget Sound Bridgetown game. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm getting up and I'm going over there right now. You change to track 3 and watch that game because it's amazing. I've been watching the score go back and forth from the bench. Right, I was really paying attention to my game.
So we've got about half an hour until the Team USA MVP game here on track 1. Go finish that out from the DerbyDeeds.com events desk, brought to you by Adam Wheels. I'm Megatron.
I'm Pitch It.
I'm Teeny.
Thanks a lot for watching. We'll be here after the Team USA game.